Okay, good evening. I think we're live. Welcome to Emergency Hedge. This is the channel where Jessica teaches me Netrunner sometimes.
Sometimes. And sometimes Dave teaches me Arkham Horror, which is kind of what we're doing tonight.
Yeah, mostly the latter present, but also the former at other times. How are you doing, Jessica?
I'm doing good. Yeah, I'm excited to play Arkham. I'm excited that we've had fewer technical difficulties than usual, which is to say only about 20 minutes of technical difficulties.
Very
Yeah.
respectable length of time.
Yeah, it's like a little bit of a chat, beforehand. Like this feels like a healthy amount of time we spent getting set up today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, particularly if we don't include that 2 minutes when I let you sit in TTS and tried to write the description for our stream
Yeah.
today. But let's not talk about that. Let's instead talk about our game.
Yeah, should we go straight to the game, or do we want to talk about any general Arkham / Netrunner stuff?
Do you have Arkham / Netrunner stuff to talk about? I feel like I don't, but if you do, let's.
I played a bit of Netrunner this week, and I bumped into a person on JNet who echoed a lot of what I feel about it at the moment, which is that like it's quite a hard game to get into right now. And I think the reason that I think casual Netrunner is fun, and if you can find people to play casual Netrunner with, that's really great. The problem is if you go on JNet and you just open a game and anyone can join, lots of people will be grinding. Like we have the same lobby for people who just want to dick around and people who want to grind.
Yeah.
And the grind version on either side of the equation, the grind version of this game is a bit mean at the moment.
Yeah, it's quite NPE-ish, I think.
Yeah. I don't know at what point, there was a point in time in my life I was like, no, I'll always finish every game that I play. You learn something from everyone. And more, I'm ending games quite early. Like ending games that I turn 4 or 5, because I think that like realistically I have lost.
Yeah.
And I feel like that, I don't know how much of that's me, and how much of that is something about the game changing, but I think I'm not even going to say particularly as runner or particularly as corp, because it happens on both sides. I quit a game yesterday as runner because the corp had scored a Sisyphus protocol, which is the agenda that just makes you run through the same central game again.
Yes. I think I mentioned last time that I had ducked out of the GLC standard league, and I believe that a game where somebody scored 2 Sisyphus protocols was the trigger for me dropping out.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. But yeah, I mean, just one of them is disgusting.
I'm not going to like criticize that card loads and loads. I think that anyone who plays Netrunner can see that it's not widely played enough for it to be like a big problem, but it wasn't an unwinnable game either, I would say. But I just looked at the board state and I thought, yeah, I can win this game. I could win this game off getting single accesses. I could get 4 or 5 more single accesses, and that might or might not win me the game. But it's going to be a slog of clicking for credits and sometimes checking their remote, and it's just not going to be very, very fun to play this for another 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Whether or not I win. And likewise on the corp side, I don't know, this is actually a bad habit of mine on the corp side in general, just like when a certain card comes down, being like, well, that's the game. But like K2CP Turbine is a good example of a card where you go, okay, like that we're done then.
Yeah, the game it makes games less interesting, like that.
Yeah.
I think I don't want to sort of rebrand as a We're Down on Netrunner channel. I think it's an awesome game, and I look forward to it being a game that I'm engaging with again. But I do feel that the point at which I was really angling for several cards to get banned, one of which was Turbine, was probably the top of the list, and none of them did, was a bit of a divergence from me being very into the game moment, I
Yeah.
think. I did. Did you watch Andre and Jeff's revisiting of their tier list stream?
Yeah. I can't remember if there are any, but what was your takeaway from it?
My takeaway from it was Turbine came up on screen so much. They were mentioning it all the time. And,
Yeah.
Andre is a pillar of the community and one of the things that makes the community really nice and tries very hard not to ever be negative, which I super appreciate for many reasons.
Yeah.
But it clearly looked to me like he is really angling for that card to go, and I think the card has to, and the sooner the better. Just to dial back to what you were saying about Sisyphus, I think that's a really good example of something I've chatted about a bit before with Rebellion Without Rehearsal, which there are quite a few cards that will be much better after the next rotation. Like, I think that card, I wouldn't say it's a problem now, mostly because it's not used very much, but I think in combination with Ag Infusion, it's not a very nice experience. And I'd be very happy to see those two things not legal at the same time.
Yeah. I also played some really fun games yesterday, but notably the really fun games that I played. So the funnest game I played was against someone who was just running like a relatively good stuff, slightly off-brand lat deck, and was.
At the same time.
We talked afterwards. They were a slightly newer player, and they were the person who was saying it's a hard game to get into at the moment. And it was a fun game because it didn't feel like. It felt like there were surprises. There were accesses where they could have won, but they didn't. And like those are the things that the outcome was in doubt until right at the end. And I feel like that's happening less and less for me in that runner.
Yes.
Like, there are. I mean, we saw at Worlds last year. Soccer himself said, like, this is a deck that you should feel happy conceding to. Like, you shouldn't always necessarily play it out because there are board states that I just make it unwinnable.
Yeah.
And if there's one deck out there like that, then there will be other decks out there like that.
Yeah.
I was also going to say, I think NSG has made a number of cards based on various different assumptions. Like, this card is okay because and not all of the assumptions about all of the cards are the same. And because they've not necessarily had that consistency, sometimes I think they've gotten themselves into some weird sort of grey areas where it's not actually any one card that breaks the meta as much as we might be down on K2CP Turbine. And like a bunch of other things that make ice a little bit irrelevant sometimes. Banning any one card doesn't fix the problem.
No, it needs quite a substantial trim, I think, in several areas. That's my feeling. I mean, I would note that my gut reaction, which is like, I have a shopping list of cards that I'd like to ban. It's very clear, for example, from what Bologna has done to the meta, that the caution that the banners team have around the fact that you can take out a card and then lose, entire portion of the card pool becomes uncompetitive. Like, there's definitely a thing you can do. So I'm not saying, I don't think we should be sitting here saying there's an obvious solution to all of this stuff and they're not taking it. Like, that's not the kind of thing that I think either of us are trying to say. So
it's an incredibly complicated problem. And it's an incredibly complicated problem slightly because I think if you don't have a single unifying vision, like years ahead of what you want the game to look like, it is relatively easy to draw yourself into a weird little corner where it just becomes a critical mass of recursion on the runner side has occurred. And it's not even like mainly Ashen Epilogue that's the problem. Ashen Epilogue seems to have been like the tipping point. But Ashen Epilogue and Muse and like the Hashiko decks that just effectively trash their entire deck and play what they need to from the heap and then play Ashen Epilogue are irritating. it makes one of the core components of the game, damage, just feel completely irrelevant.
Yeah.
So, like, to the point where it's like, I'd rather not do damage to you. Like, this mechanic isn't important right now because a third of runners either don't care or actively enjoy you doing damage to them.
Yeah.
They don't even care if you like hit a critical card because they'll get it back in a couple of turns.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you can argue that's always been the case. There's always been symbol chip out there and blah blah blah. But I feel like it's more of a problem now.
I can't speak to how it has been, in the past, much beyond when we started this channel, because I wasn't playing hardly at all before then. But I think you're probably right. Yeah, I mean, I feel that side of things, it feels a bit reminiscent of where the meta seemed to be before the bin breakers rotated out and program destruction.
Yeah,
like I felt there was a strong agreement that it was very good that those had gone, and that a dynamic element of gameplay had come back, and what's happened with recursion has basically kind of reversed that, and then some. Like, there's no rig shooty stuff out there, is there? Because what like much as with what you're just saying about damage, like it's not really winnable strategy because so many runners have built into their strategy recursion that completely undoes it.
Yeah. And so I think I've thought of a good example of what I mean.
Go on.
So the card, the price.
Yes.
The whole theming of that suggests that there should be a price to having
yes, yeah.
And that like you are making some kind of sacrifice to get the thing that you want.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the rest of the card pool negates that sacrifice.
Yes.
So it's become a 3 of in every Anarch deck, as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be. Like, there should be decks that like it, that like are a bit reckless and don't mind trashing their stuff. But if that's just become the core Anarch thing, that we trash everything and we don't care about trashing it.
Yes, yeah. It should be a card where you have to have a 3 of your key stuff, because you can't guarantee to get that stuff back.
Yeah. And that card feels like it's been designed around the idea that, as I say, there is a price, because you're essentially drawing for installing one of them and getting a discount. That's a huge amount of value. And if there isn't the downside of, but you lost 3 of your cards, or if that downside is almost completely mitigated, then it feels like that's the sort of area where the design team maybe weren't having the same conversation with each other at the same time.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think it's worth bearing in mind that it's also the release that came immediately after a change in lead designer. And I think that change didn't cleanly happen. Well, it obviously didn't cleanly happen because the two sets were designed together, right? There was a set of half-designed cards that became Rebellion Without Rehearsal, because both sides of the Autonomy Initiative had been conceived of together. One set was designed and brought to be release ready, and the other half of the set was not. And I believe that the lead designer changed. So if it's a bit less clean and sleek as the previous half of the set, that's very understandable in institutional terms. It's to be expected. And again, I feel, particularly because NSG is volunteer led, it's really important for us to emphasize we're not putting guilt in. We love this game, and we're talking about it because we're interested in it, and it remains an interesting and fascinating endeavor, even when it's not going, firing on all cylinders in a way that makes us super excited.
Yeah, but I completely agree. Like, I'm not being critical. I don't know how to do that job. I can sit here and be an armchair like dickhead about it all I want, but like, at the end of the day, I do not know how to design an entire card pool, and I can sit here and say that's what they should have done. They should have designed the entire thing together. But I'm positive it's much more complicated than I'm giving them credit for.
Yeah.
I think that you're right that they probably need to be a bit vicious about how they ban cards. And there's always going to be a problem that Netrunner is going to be a bit of a 2-tier game forever. There are going to be the people who just want to play some Netrunner with their friends, and there are the people who want to play competitively. And I do feel like the standard ban team, for example, designed to the latter half.
Yeah.
And a card can be making the game unfun, but not necessarily uncompetitive.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, the game lives or dies in the long term based on whether the casual player base can remain strong.
Yes. Yeah.
And can draw in new players. Like, it scared me yesterday when this person who obviously is enthusiastic about the game said, like, it's brutal to play as a new player. Like, it just doesn't. It's really hard. Like, I play it with my friends and I have a good time, but I come online, and I find it really hard to know what to do.
Yes.
And they were the runner. I think it's a runner meta at the moment, but I think that because KGCP Turbine and because of all these like very strong runner strategies, every corp's got to have an orthogonal strategy, which actually makes it harder for you to learn the game as a new runner.
Yeah,
because you're trying different games at once.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is like easy to say and very, very hard to do, but I think the game should be competitive for some decks that are just trying to play Common or Garden Netrunner. You know, either I score behind ice or I break all your ice once I'm set up. Like, those two strategies should both be competitive in what feels like a healthy meta. Other strategies should as well. Like, it's interesting if other people. It's not as interesting a game if that's the only thing decks are trying to do. But yeah, the fact that neither of those strategies seem to currently be competitive, I think, is an issue.
I mean, I think that, to be fair, I think Anarchs just get set up very quickly and then break all your ice.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. I'm talking nonsense here, aren't I?
It's the problem with Anarchs is that they do it by like turn 4.
Yeah.
Like comfortably by turn 4 quite often, and that doesn't feel.
So I wonder which of us is now audible. I can't hear Jessica. She's going to hop off. Hopefully one of us will be or not. Should be afterwards. Hey Jessica.
2 1 2.
Oh man. I think it was my computer glitched. I think that's the truth of it. I think it was my computer glitched. Yeah, looks like I'm still live. Okay, well, hopefully Jessica will be joining us in a second, and I can ruminate on the fact that I was trying to convey that I think that fair strategies aren't competitive at the moment, and as Jessica very accurately pointed out, what I said was somewhat different from that. Like, Anarchs just pile drive everything so quickly that a fair corp strategy of I score behind ice is one that's not very viable at the moment. Well, I don't want to have a one-sided conversation about Netrunner, particularly because I have not been playing it very much. So maybe I will fire up TTS if it's working. It does seem to be working. That's good. Let's get Jessica into it.
2 2 1 2.
Hey, lovely. Can you hear me? Oh, that's unfortunate. I can hear you then, Jessica. Wow. Kind of all over the shop, isn't it? You know what I'm going to do. Okay.
Can you hear me, Dave?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I think I knocked the lead out of my computer. That's what happened there.
That sounds. Well, I didn't think it was on my end. Could you invite me back to the game? Maybe it may help.
Me too. At least I will. So I've put the test card on the screen.
Cool. I think once we had everything set up, and then I fucked around by like having a conversation about Netrunner, although that is in theory part of our remit.
It is part of our. It was an interesting conversation. I realised quite quickly I couldn't have it by myself, which was slightly unfortunate. Did you get the invite?
Just looking. See if it loads properly.
It's still looking very slow.
I think it starts slow while it's loading, and then it fixes itself. I think. I think if I get in this time, let's just jump straight to the game.
Cool.
I'm at 75%.
Oh, really? I've got you 85.
Oh, you know more than I do.
I wonder if it's showing how much has been sent to you rather than how much you've received, or I don't know.
Yeah, how much sent rather than how much has been processed or something.
It's much more respectable.
Yeah.
Could you check that everything works for you? Because I did everything all loaded and mods before you joined.
Yeah, I'm just having a look. It all looks okay. Okay. It looks okay, but it's secretly not okay. I'm gonna have to... Why?
So I think I'll just reload it and see if that works. Yeah.
Like the only problem was my damage and horror don't update. So I'd have to ask you. But like I think you're right, let's reload it because otherwise we'll find there's some other problem halfway through.
That's exactly what I think, and I've already done it in Rock, just done that stupid test code on our screen or in the streaming, so we might as well keep it up there and be confident that we actually have everything working before. second.
Have you reloaded it?
I have reloaded it. Is it working?
Yeah, it reloaded really fast.
I know. There didn't seem to be that delay thing again, which is interesting to me, but that's...
Okay, cool. That's awesome. I've accidentally taken the horror off myself. I'll put it back on. There we go. Brilliant. I think we're good to play.
Cool. Okay. Hey, Jessica. Welcome back. Hi, everyone.
I cast the stream by being too mean about another game, and FFG got annoyed because they're FFG siblings, even if Netrunner is now in a news table. Shall we just go straight into playing Ark, Dave?
Yeah. I think we maybe lost our thread so much and possibly had got more or less to the end of the conversation, but I don't know if there's any sort of rounding off thoughts you want to offer or anything.
I think the only rounding off thought I would offer is I think it might be a bad idea to put too much faith in a ban list will sort this. I feel like Dawn might sort it, though. I feel like Dawn's going to be such a big shake-up of the game that they do even, and I don't mean this to be as horrible as I think it's going to sound, even purely by accident, they could fix the game. So they're going to make so many changes to it.
Yeah.
And I think it needs a big shake-up at the moment.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of little cards that are like just create a critical mass of value. And unless you do like a cull of like 5 or 6 cards that aren't on their own problematic, and maybe aren't problematic at top level play, like Trick Shot. I think Trick Shot should go, but Trick Shot isn't breaking the game on its own. It's just, and I think I'm stealing Andre's lunch a bit here because I think he said the same thing. It's just good on every board state. I've played it as a like three credits and a free run card, where I'm not even doing a successful run on R&D. I'm just like bouncing off outer ice. Like that's good enough, actually. Like that's pretty decent on plenty of board states.
Is that 3 credits in a run? Is what's it? Isn't it? No free lunch. Dirty laundry.
No.
Dirty laundry. Yeah.
And but you get those credits at the end of the run, and the run has to be successful.
Yeah.
Whereas Trick Shot is 4 credits. 3 credits, 5 if you make a successful run.
Yeah.
The first run.
An extra card on R&D if it's successful, right?
And a second run.
Yes. It's cracked.
It is
absolutely cracked.
Absolutely cracked.
Yeah,
and like I say,
I don't want it to be banned because I like the theme of the card and I like the billiard balls, but I think you're right, and I think it will at some point it will be for the job.
And I think the problem for the standard ban team is that they tend to look at every card in isolation. I don't think Trick Shot was actually problematic in isolation. I think Trick Shot is only problematic when you go, this is on top of like, this is the tipping point where Shaper Economy becomes just a bit too good. I think there's a bunch of cards like that. I think that was the situation Anarch was in for a long time, where it's like the Anarch Economy is just too good, but it's no one card that's the problem. Fermenter was the one I used to whinge about, and Fermenter seems like relatively fine at the moment. Like, you mainly says like enough virus around to sort it out.
Yeah.
So that's what I played, and I think I'll make this point, and then we will play Arkham. I played a game yesterday with a deck that didn't have my virus in, and ran into a virus deck, and the game just became unplayable within a couple of turns. It was like, there's no point playing this game because there's no point in me purging. I'll just lose a turn, and you'll just get all of the tokens back that same turn.
Yeah.
Like, there's kind of no point in me playing this game, and you have too many virus tokens for me to consider doing anything but purging. Purging wouldn't fix it. I'd have to wait a turn, and then I'd have to be able to res all this ice and blah blah blah. That's partly an Amicula problem, but it's also we possibly need a second card that purges.
Which is wild, isn't it? Because I mean, Mirages is the tech card for purging, isn't it? I mean, that's what it's there for. It's strange to consider that it might not be sufficient.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't running it was the big problem.
Yeah.
And I kept playing that game if I was.
I mean, it's a bit tricky that there was a period where every corp deck wanted one or more Mirages, and it's a bit tricky to have a card that is that necessary linked to a faction rather than neutral.
Yeah, and that in most games actually will be completely worthless.
Yeah,
but in the games where you need it, you will lose the game without having it. It just feels irritating to have a card like that. Yeah.
I have one more thought about Rebellion Without Rehearsal, which is I think they got a bit unlucky in their ID design. Like none of the IDs have really, taken off.
That's not true, though, is it, Dave? One of them has.
In Rebellion Without Rehearsal?
Or Rebellion Without Rehearsal, yeah.
In the Autonomer initiative, one of them has really popped off. And Arasana's amazing, and I think probably the best thing in the set, pretty much inarguably. But in the second half, none of the IDs have really popped off, and
Arasana's almost too good.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a bit unfortunate. I think the ID design hasn't really hit the mark, because I think that would offset some of the negative play experience issues of the meta more generally if there were new exciting toys for people to be playing with.
I think it's a real shame that Seb is like Seb is.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't think it's a shame that Mercury's like Mercury is. I think it's absolutely fine to have like a mid-range slot machine ID. I think the Mercury is fun to play, and if you're in the game to have fun, I don't think you mind so much if there is some variance in your games. And yeah, you're going to lose some games because Mercury got like free Maker's Eye on R&D by playing Estebrado and Pretty Mary, and you'll lose that game, and okay, like that's fine. They are not a competitive top level ID, and so it's fine.
Yeah.
The problem is with Seb that Seb is also not very fun to play.
Yes, and he's so almost there. I find that very frustrating. But anyway, there we go.
He's different. Like they tried something different, and I very much applaud them doing that. And I would rather they tried new different things.
Absolutely. Yeah. I really hope, and it's slightly unfortunate that Dawn is the next release. I would love to say the next release should have 2 or 3 cards that will, fill in the gaps that make floating your tag in between turns a viable strategy. And then Seb's going to be really great, and I look forward to it. I get the impression something similar happened with Adam, right? Adam had a directive that came out in a subsequent set. Was it always be running? I don't know.
I think all Adam's directives came out at the same time, but I could be wrong.
I'm pretty certain about this one. I think there was a later one. And I'm only going from hearing Andre chat about it quite a lot, but I think there was a later one.
Or you're right that Always Be Running just never got played because it was so restrictive and just not as good as the others. And Adam always felt a bit under-designed, because if you'd had a couple more directives, there would have genuinely been a few different models for Adam. Whereas instead there was just one model for Adam every single time. Adam was fun though. Adam was a lot of fun. And what was the core neutral ID? Can you remember?
The core neutral ID. Is it
something
analytics? Right. No, it's Iswak was analytics. It's
The co-op neutral ID from the same set as Adam is what I mean. From back in the day.
Right. Find the Truth is the one that I'm thinking of, which was a Flashpoint card, not a Data and Destiny card.
Okay, that's actually a good card though. Like people would play it out of factions.
And that's exactly my point. So Adam came out with 3 directives, and then Find the Truth came in a later set. And my understanding, again, as somebody who wasn't playing at the time, that Find the Truth pushed Adam to be a competitive deck, whereas he hadn't before. So I hope they'll do something similar like that with Seb. It's slightly unfortunate that Dawn is the next release, because Dawn is intended to be a foundational release, and it shouldn't really have many tech cards to fix IDs that will rotate in previous sets, in my opinion. But
yeah, I think you're right. I'm looking forward to Dawn. Like I do, despite what I said earlier, hold out a little bit of hope that maybe like there'll be a ban list that softens up the meta a bit.
Yeah. I think there absolutely has to be one this summer before Worlds.
Yeah, there will be. But I think that there's a strong possibility that what that ban list does is looks at the bleeding edge of the competitive meta, decides that 1 to 3 cards, 4 or 5 at the outmost, need to be banned, and doesn't deal with issues that we've been talking about, which are basically both sides of the game can, in various different ways, make an unfun amount of value over about 5 or 6 turns, and then you are playing a non-game for the rest of the game. I don't think that's a problem that they can fix, because I don't think the ban team's job, as it's currently stated, is to make the game more fun. I think the ban team's job is to make sure the game isn't broken at the top level. And for some people, those two things are one and the same, but for most people, I think they're not.
Yeah, and I think the implicit critique in what you've said, and it's something we have discussed a bit on the channel before, is that they should really be trying to do both for the game to be healthy and sustainable in the long run. Yeah,
and I would even argue that if they could only do one, they should make sure the game is fun at like a medium level of play, because that's where most people are going to be. But it's also not where the super fans are, and logically, if you're working for an SG, you're a bit of a super fan. That's not meant to be a huge read, but like generally speaking, if you're on the ban team, if you're doing balance stuff, it's because you've been a competitive player at some point, and it might be hard for you to see the other perspective.
Yeah, I do recall that there has been a request specifically for Dawn playtesters who are not top tier competitive players but are mid tier players, and I think that speaks to an awareness of the design team to incorporate feedback on that level as well.
Well, obviously, I'd love to volunteer for that, but sadly, I'm too good at the game, so it's just not really. I think at the moment that's not at all true. I think at the moment I'm very mid at the game, and I think I'd actually make a pretty decent Dawn playtester. Maybe I'll put myself forward.
Yeah, we are avowedly not doing the YouTube building up a channel thing at the moment. We are catching games when we can, and we don't ever do the hey, you leave a comment. But if someone is watching this and you feel differently about the meta, and you are loving it at the moment, I'd genuinely be interested to hear another perspective. I would genuinely hope so. Like, stick it in the comments. Do that.
Me too. I've not gone on GLC this time round and been like, I think the meta's broken, because my experience of, partly because I'm now an admin, and I think that you can't strop too much when you're an admin of a server. And partly because I just don't think that's a rewarding experience. I think that the nature of these communities is that the people who are there are the people who are currently enjoying the game, and so you're unlikely to get a lot of positive feedback if you're not enjoying the game.
Yes,
and that I can come and whinge to you about it instead. And it's still not a bad game. Like, I played it for hours this week. Like, and I had fun a lot of the time doing it, but I also had a lot of games where I went, why am I playing this game when I want to, and indeed am quitting on like turn 5 or 6.
We aren't sadly doing our annual we actually spend some time together in Meet Space
No.
thing this year. But if we were, I'm very confident that we'd be bringing a deck or two to play, because
Oh, 100%.
we could be certain that we would have fun. You know, we'd pick decks that would be fun to play against each other. And I, you know, sorry that we're not doing it. Let's do it next year. But
I'd make you play against the PE Traps deck just because
that's
that's not what I
yeah. I maybe wouldn't want to run all of my decks against that forever. But like, I think games of that are fun, and you know, we've also chatted about how much more fun that is in person to do.
100%.
Should we play some Arkham?
Yeah, let's do that.
So we're partway through Fatal Mirage, and I think we've probably done got to the end of a round, right?
Yeah, which means that we're about to do Mythos phase.
Yes, I think so. And where have we got to in our chasing of memories?
So we'd decided to chase memories on the deck of the Theodosia.
Oh God, we had such a fun backwards and forwards about that, didn't we? Yeah, I remember now. Yeah,
We did have a.
it's this treachery, the mist, the evanescent mist caused us a lot of brain fog.
Yeah,
when we last
absolutely.
played. So we're chasing down memories on the deck of the Theodosia. Right, and we can get clues off the base camp should we wish to. And I think we've set things up that we can flip, that we can bring the coastal waters in, which will get rid of evanescent mist without us having to spend the extra clues.
This was the part I was unclear on last time. Why does bringing the coastal waters get rid of the evanescent mist?
Okay, so the bottom of evanescent mist. If attached location is cleared of mirages, discard evanescent mist. So the base camp mirages are coastal waters, which isn't in play, deserted station, which I think is, and Riverview Theatre, which is. So if we bring the third one into play from the deck of the Theodosia, we are not, we're not triggering the additional clues, but we are triggering the forced effect.
It says a lot for how much less brain fucked I am this time round that I just understood immediately why.
Yeah.
I didn't spend like 15 minutes being like, no, I think we should do something else.
I feel a bit bad about our jumping schedule means we're clashing with Bar and Woo here, who is streaming this evening. Apologies, Bar, if you are seeing this. But I am reminded of his lovely faint praise for our channel, which was really interesting to watch us disagree with each other. I think we gave our money's worth last time on this particular picture.
Okay, remind me of how this mechanic works.
The Mirages.
How many clues? Yeah, how many clues do I need to get the coastal waters on?
So
board?
That's one per investigator, so 2 clues.
Okay, so I actually have enough clues right now.
Yeah, we could totally do
it.
The open question is how many do we collect before we go down that path of memories? Because once you start upon it, you've generally got enough to keep going, but going back is extra actions, right? Because it's they're not. Is it omnidirectional where it's both? They're one way.
Yeah, they're one way.
They're all cul-de-sacs, these memories.
Okay, I suggest we do the Mythos phase. We get the coastal waters on the board so we can see what it's like, and then we probably do gather some clues before going there.
Sounds awesome. Yeah, I like it. Yeah. Okay, Mythos phase. 4 Doom of 11.
Mm-hmm.
And then we draw some encounter cards.
Cool.
You've got the Madness Within.
Revelation. Test 4 willpower. For each point you fail by, tuffle the shop card, shuffle top card of the tequila. Fuck off, tequila. Into your deck without looking at it. For each card, okay.
We're both also frostbitten, which we should.
Yeah, we
really not forget.
You've got the only healing card in either of our decks. I don't know how we'd forgotten when we were updating our decks to get any kind of healing whatsoever. I think I might use Anu here to get myself to a +1 on this and not take too many tequila cards.
I think that's a good idea. Oh, hang on. Are we at the same location?
Yeah. No.
Is this one of the worst treacheries in either of our decks? In the encounter deck?
I don't think so. I think like I might take a couple of tequila cards and I can live with that.
Okay.
And also you're not my location. So
I don't need to be, but that's me. Let's press onwards.
well I'm gonna take a damage.
That's
okay.
-1.
Frost tokens are -1, so I pass this test.
Hooray! Cool. I've got a Primordial Evil. Oh boy. Okay. Right.
That's horrible.
I sure would like to evade that.
Yeah, it seems like one that you want to evade. Did we up the doom?
We did.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, it was 4 of 11.
Okay, shall we get Coastal Waters on the board? Because that's a free action, right?
So it's in here somewhere. For some reason, the name of this makes me want to sing seminal 1990s dance pop. Gypsy Woman. Dance pop it. Gypsy Woman. Cool. Mirage 2, Airfield and Ottoman Front, neither of which are on the board, I believe. And more bad things if Frost tokens.
Which I hate, because I feel like we're pulling them all the time, Frost tokens.
Yes, yeah. I've got a lot in the bag. Just too many. One day somebody's going to look back on this campaign and tell us in the comments, probably in 2027 or sometime like that, that every time we start a new scenario, the TTS is mysteriously multiplying the number of Frost tokens in the bag.
Or that we've missed some like minutiae of the.
I went back through, Jessica, and we removed quite a few because we had erroneously put a couple in the first scenario. But we did do that. We took them out.
I think, I have this paranoid idea that TTS, I think particularly when you draw the second token, like the second token seems to, if you draw one Frost token, you seem to draw a second one a lot.
Yeah.
And it should happen about 1 in 3 times. Overall, you should have that. That should happen in skill test 1 in every 9 times. It does not seem to be happening 1 in every 9 times. It seems to happen a lot. But I know how perceptive biases work and cognitive biases, so I could just be imagining it.
So where are we both? Okay.
I'm happy trying to get a couple of clues off of here. If I did get a couple of clues off of here, we would actually be good to reveal the next location. Not that we would necessarily want to rush there. Oh, this has an upside as well.
Yes, it does, yeah.
It has an upside that works quite well with you having Claypool.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Um, uh, I'm a bit sad that I've got such a big enemy and I can't really deal with it. Oh, one thing I discovered after we finished playing last night, I should have an upgraded version of Azure Flame, not that rubbish version there. I'll just go and change that now. I'm going to struggle either to evade this enemy or to kill it, sadly, because I only have one charge on my Azure Flame. That's the point I was politely dancing around.
Okay. I'm going to have trouble doing anything because my TTS is hanging now.
Oh no. Stick it there. Still hanging?
Yep. I'll let you know if it stops. I have a sneaking suspicion it's going to crash.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's doing the brackets not responding thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I'm back.
Cool.
Maybe. Am I? No. I'm disconnected from the server. Okay, it didn't outright crash, it just kicked me.
Okay, let's get you back in. That's easily done. So if I try and evade, I am 1 up, which is no good. I can commit 2 cards and be 3 up with Claypool. This Primordial Evil, this Hunter and Retaliate. I think that's probably what I need to do, unless you feel that you... So it's going to be a lot of extra actions if you come here and evade this thing. I think I probably need to try and do that and hope for the best.
Yeah, I'm still not back in the game, but my reading of the board state was that it will be a lot of extractions for me to team.
Yeah, you could move back. I think that's in that direction. For 1 action, but there'd be move, engage, evade, and then you would have to make another move to put yourself back where you are in relation to coastal waters. So it'd be 4 actions. And
yeah, it'd be my...
that's not including any failed tests. So
yeah.
Cool. I'll take my turn then. I will start by Azure Flaming it. So that's spending a charge. So it's +2, so I am a 7 versus 3. That is Elder Thing, which is -4. So that is pass, but not by enough to trigger my lucky cigarette case. So that's 2 damage on the Primordial Evil. And I shuffle a Tequila into my deck.
Yeah, sorry to say you do.
Just trying to check that is the Tequila deck, isn't it? No, not that. Go away. Yeah. I didn't look at it. Well, I did look at it enough to ascertain it was a Tequila, but not enough to see what it did. Okay, so action number 1. Action number 2, I will endeavour to evade. So we'll go commit sleight of hand, commit ward of protection, alas. So that puts me at 4 versus 1. There's a frost token. Here's a good question. do I use up one of the charges on Claypool to make sure that my evade has worked?
Have you just pulled a frost token?
Yes.
Okay. But I'm currently quitting and reopening Tabletop Simulator because I don't know why it's behaving like this.
Okay.
Just particularly bad tonight, it would seem. And last time we played as well, to be fair, I think after a mere year, my laptop has started experiencing hardware degradation and doesn't like doing anything particularly complicated at the moment.
I will take 1 damage and I will draw again. Fantastic, that's a +1. So I pass the test. I evade the primordial evil. So that's action 2. Action 3, I will move to base camp. And the summoned servitor will investigate the Riverview Theatre at a 4 versus 1 and succeed, getting me a clue. And that's my turn.
Cool. I'll hopefully be with you in a minute.
Okay. So I might as well vamp a bit about what I'm planning to do.
Sure.
I really need some sort of kill tech as soon as possible. I have the binder's jar in my hand that I am planning to play next turn. That will take me down to 2 resources because I'll get 1 at upkeep. I can very easily put a clairvoyance into play or any other asset by booting out my Azure Flame. But yeah, I expect if I don't pull a weapon or my other Azure Flame in upkeep to be doing quite a lot of drawing, so that I am in a position to kill the primordial evil and stick it in the binder's jar. Yeah, at present I have 3 assets that take up arcane or accessory slots. I have the Hierophant tarot card down, which makes them basically interchangeable and gives me an extra 1. So I have 4 slots altogether. I'll put binder's jar down, which will take up the 4th accessory stroke arcane slot, and then when I put an enemy inside the binder's jar, I will get a 5th, which will mean I will be in a position to have both a kill and a clue getting spell down. And I hope that will be enough juice for us to successfully complete the scenario.
Cool.
You're loading at the moment, Jessica?
I am. I'm in the game.
Yeah.
But don't get too excited because I was in the game before and then it kicked me out.
Back in the game. My plan with the summoned servitor is that it's just going to sit in the theatre gathering clues. And then when the theatre is empty of clues, something that I can't discuss with Jessica will happen. I will. It's the unspeakable oath, basic weakness that we don't talk about.
Yep. Come on, game. You can load. I believe in you.
Oh, I'll tell you what, Jessica. You put the coastal waters into play, but I don't think we did the story text on the back of the deck of the Theodosia, did we?
No, I don't think we did either. Do we get something nice when we do that?
I think we just some story.
That's always nice.
Yeah.
Tourism.
I'll read out. Ellsworth appears in a shimmer of mirage light, staring out over the railing into the cold blue ocean. Beautiful, isn't it? He says. Cookie and Claypool appear nearby, carrying several crates of supplies between them. You know what'd be beautiful? Cookie hollers. Maybe if you helped out a little bit. Think you might get off your arse for a minute and out pitching, Ellsworth? The explorer nods with a soft sigh and takes the weight from Claypool's hands, nodding aside for him to take a break. Claypool gives him a gentle, knowing smile. So this gives us the option to follow Cookie's memories, which is coastal waters. The other two are Ellsworth's, which is the hedge maze, and Claypool, which is the standing stones. And I think, do we have both of those? No, we don't have both of those. We just have the standing stones, but we wanted to put the waters into play for evanescent mist reasons. So yeah, at some point in if we're doing this again, if we are chasing down two memories from this point onwards, we could go up to Ellsworth and down the hedge maze. Cool. I'm going to flip it back over. Are you with us now, Jessica? Virtually.
I am.
Great. Are you reading the card?
Yeah, I was just making sure I understood what you said properly.
Okay.
We should get rid of this evanescent mist.
Yes, we should. Fantastic. Off your block. Boom.
Okay. I'm going to spend my turn gathering clues.
That seems wise. I think.
Yeah, I think I just take the additional shroud. I also think I fail it on purpose the first time.
Okay.
This is one of those points where it's sort of pointless me doing maths. 1, 2, 5. Okay, so the shroud is 7 and my learning is 2. Yeah, there was no point in me doing that maths, was there? And I've failed it by a really large number.
Great.
I will draw 2 cards off that.
Oh. I didn't fire my lucky cigarette case, which I should have.
Okay, go for it.
I think I was 3 up and I got a frost token and a +1. So I'm sure as hell going to be drawing a card. Oh, cool. That's nice.
Okay, I think for my second action, I'm going to take 3 resources off this person, Takada Hiroko. 1, 2, 3. No, that's not what I meant to do.
Now tabletop simulator.
So those are the resources. Okay, this is now my third action, so I get quick learner bonuses.
Yay.
And they would put me at +1 if I did nothing else. Is that good? +1's not really good enough, but I do have look what I found in hand.
Yeah.
Which I think makes it fine.
You also have a flashlight, but
I do also have a flashlight. I'm wondering whether this is the time to use it or not.
So I think +1's quite a good place to be.
Yeah, I'm going to investigate it. +1. Okay, but I can look what I found because I failed by 2 or less.
You need to do the frostbitten thing there.
Oh yeah, I needed to take damage. I can't keep doing that forever, but that's what I did this time. I just forgot. So grab 2 clues. And let's Do I want to use this flashlight and almost certainly get this last clue?
I think in general it's good not to have wasted actions. I
Yeah.
think I don't think there are any victory point locations that we've come across so far. So I think all the clues are equally valuable in this scenario. We have 5 so far, which I think we're going to need more than that, aren't we?
Okay, I was at +3, and this skull is -3. So I did it. It was definitely correct. That flashlight taken. Cool. And that means it's now an easy choice to just walk away from the deck of the Theodosia and not ever think of it again.
Yeah, because the primordial evil is going to come after it.
That's true.
Let's do an upkeep phase. Let's not think about that.
The enemy phase happens first, and the enemy does nothing apart from PC key. Hello.
Oh boy.
Okay, I can lose 2 resources. That's fine. That's fine. That is. Okay.
I think we're good, Jessica. I think it's all going to be okay.
Good.
That's
so during the phase, this guy. Yeah, I think we were both trying to grab it at the same time. You go for it.
Okay.
And we'll go into Mythos phase.
Yeah.
Blasphemous Visions. Shuffle the top card of the Tula deck into your deck without looking at it. I was like, well, at least this is one out of the way. Then put Blasphemous Visions into play in your threat area. Okay. Ugh. So I have to resolve each Tequila card twice until I get rid of this thing, which I will try and do this turn because I don't want to do that any more than absolutely necessary.
Yeah. You're playing with somebody who's not very good at anything except for being willful. So I can try and pass that for you if you don't have any kind of ways of doing that.
Why don't we wait till? Why don't you go first? Because are you going to go to the coastal waters this turn, or are you going to get some?
I'm going to go to the coastal waters.
Okay. Yeah, I feel quite safe doing that. I think that we're going to want to pick up another 6 clues this run if my instincts are correct. Another 4 to 6 clues to get everything that we want. And then if we want to push our luck, we have to go back to the start anyway. So, like, if we want to try and get a second story card, which I think we might have done it the very first time, and then we didn't the second time. It's not impossible, but it's hard.
I think have we not got one already? Did we start with just 3?
Yeah.
So we had all of these 3 out already, and all we've done so far is inch forward to where we currently are in this scenario. That kind of makes sense, doesn't it? For Doom.
Yeah, we had something blocking us early on. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
Mist and stuff, I think.
Yeah.
Mist and enemies we had early on.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, I have Power Word in hand, and it's a bit unfortunate that I've actually done this 2 damage to the Primordial Evil. Otherwise, it would be a really good candidate for an even better candidate for investigating everywhere, because the confess ability on power word is discover one clue if at this enemy's location if its health is equal to or higher than its location shroud. And I've knocked his health down from 5 to 3. Never mind.
It would still be able to do
Coastal
this
waters.
division.
Yeah. So I think we probably want to go to coastal waters, flip it, and then move beyond, and then set the primordial evil to work for us.
Did you draw your card, Dave?
I did draw my card, yes.
Oh, what did you draw?
I drew power word.
Did you draw your encounter card?
Oh, that no.
I
did draw that. I drew Crypt Chill. Oh, I've got some dynamite. Okay, fine. Okay, yeah, we can deal with that enemy whenever we want to. I've forgotten that I have the dynamite. This is why I ended the last scenario feeling comfortable about my enemy killing abilities, because I have that. Righty right. Okay, Crypt Chill is annoying. I think on balance, I will use the willpower pip that I was saving for your treachery to bump me up to 6 versus 4. So
okay.
One up. And that was a waste of time.
That's rough.
It is rough. Okay, well, the Azure Flame is going to go. And that's a shame.
I reckon I can beat this. When the time comes, I can get to 6 versus 3 on it anyway.
Yeah.
It would still be nice to have you in the same location as me because I'd like some protection from frost, but
yep. I can go first if you like.
Yes, I think that's the best way for us to end the turn in the same location.
Yeah. Actually, the only thing I can't do is play power word on this stupid enemy. It's a bit annoying. Because that does need to be at the same location as me. So how would that work? I could go there, play power word on it, use power. Oh, power word's fast. I could go there, use power word, and then move to your location, and not do any of the cool things, the other cool things that I wanted to.
You could do that.
Yeah.
We may get other power word candidates. Like
That's,
3 isn't.
yeah, it's just that this campaign is quite light on enemies, and I think this scenario relatively light as well.
Okay. It hasn't felt light on enemies so far. I feel like we've pulled quite a few of them.
Yeah. Fair enough. In that case, I will dynamite.
Cool.
The primordial evil, which gets me another to kill Ellie, but happily I don't have to take 3 to kill Elise. So yeah, that's exhausted. I spent a supply, but this is gone.
I think I forgot to add a tequila card to my deck.
Oh really?
So
oh, for Blasphemous Visions.
Yeah, for Blasphemous Visions. Yeah. I was too busy thinking about how to beat it.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to spend 1 to play Lone Wolf. And then I'm going to move into Coastal Waters.
Okay.
And then the Summon Servitor is going to investigate the theatre. 4 versus 1. That's a... Whee! Oh. That's unfortunate. It's a pass, so I get a clue. It just would have been nice to have that happen at a time when I had Azure Flame in play, as opposed to having just discarded it. Never mind, because I could have recharged the thing. I do
That's-
have a trigger lucky cigarette case. And that's to Kelly Lee. Okay. Discard one card at random from your hand. Okay. Now, if for some reason we live in a good universe, this is going to be yes.
That is ideal.
Oh, thank you to Kelly Lee. That's great. Okay. You go. And what with this? And there was much rejoicing. Okay, that's my turn. Oh, and I draw a card as well for the. No, I draw a card for the Elder Sign effect. I don't think there's an asset in my play area I want to bring back to hand. No, it would have been nice to recharge a spell, but that's not gonna work. But I will draw a card. Boom. Okay. Cool. That's my turn.
Okay, I'm gonna move.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna deliberately fuck up an investigation, like just absolutely clown it. Don't do that yet, do I? So investigating at a -2. So there's not a +2, is there? So like,
there is not a +2, no.
Oh, that's a real shame. I do, however, lose a clue by doing that, which is frustrating.
I feel like in some versions of the mod, there's a thing that tells you knocking around, but maybe not in this version. Like a thing that live updates the bag contents. No, the best token is +1. There's 2 zeros, 2 -1s, 2 -2s, and 1 -3, 1 -4. 10 billion frost tokens approximately. Skull, Elder Thing, and Tablet. I feel like I imagine that would be helpful when I started saying it, and then towards the end it was just a distraction.
I could have concentrated harder on what you were saying.
What were you concentrating on instead?
The 3 cards I just drawn and whether I should play them.
Okay.
I take responsibility for not having paid proper attention. I should definitely play this Mineral Specimen. It's a very good card.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's a really good card. It's an especially good card to have where I am right now.
Mhm.
Because it cancels frost tokens as well.
Great.
The problem is I'm out of like miscellaneous slots, so I have to go.
This tarot slot. I don't think you've got any tarot cards in your deck.
Right. Okay. So that was my third action. For my final action, I am going to use it because it's really good, and I want to cancel any frost. Oh, fuck's sake! I need to get rid of the blasphemous vision, though. I could live with it for 1 turn.
What's the worst that can happen?
Like I have to do a second Tequila Lee card. That's annoying, but like you can't even give me any help this turn, right? What can you?
Avery Claypool can always give you help.
That's true. So there is some sense to me doing it now when we're definitely both in the same place. And it's not like actually
I can't give you any pips, which is what you were actually asking.
Yeah, but you did answer that.
Yeah.
I can tell I just want to use this mineral specimen because I've got it, and not because it's like the most efficient thing to do would be to get rid of this Blasphemous Visions as quickly as possible, because it doubles Tequila cards, and I'm going to draw some at some point.
How about you do it, and we also flip the Coastal Waters, and then we'll feel like we're progressing.
Yeah, good idea. As I've got two of them in hand, I'm gonna neither rain nor snow this Blasphemous Visions to do it at a +3.
Oh, yeah. Such a good card.
Yeah. It's arguably not the ideal use for it, because you want to use it on something where failing has like a real negative effect.
Yeah.
But
it's more than +3 though, isn't it? Because you've got 2 quick learners.
Yeah.
+5?
Yeah. Actually, now you've mentioned that I've got quick learner, maybe I don't want to turn it. Maybe I don't want to waste this by just turning a +2 into a +5. That actually feels a bit ridiculous.
You haven't used Anu this turn either, so you could just get the best of
both.
Yeah.
Yeah, +4 is, I think, apart from the auto fail, yeah, that's a -2. Goodbye. Perfect. Okay.
And do you want to flip the Coastal Waters and read the text?
Remind me that I need to actually pay the clues for this, because I haven't done so yet.
I'll do that while you read.
Hell of a test run! Cookie yells over the roar of the rushing wind. The two of them are up in one of Takada's aeroplanes. This must have happened just after she completed work on the first plane, before the lot of you set off towards the peaks, and the events that ensued. Get used to it, Takada shouts in the pilot's seat. Weather's going to be rough any time we're in the air. Don't worry, though. She'll hold. You see the grim co-pilot hold back a smile. You're enjoying this, aren't you? Takada chimes. Nah, Cookie lies. Just been a while, that's all. I think, even though I've got Takada with me right now, which would make getting Takada's memories easier, we should go for Cookie's memories, because Cookie is we've used Takada once, and she's fine, but I think that generally our economy is good enough that we don't usually want her.
Yeah, we've used Cookie. I agree.
I think we're more likely to take Cookie into our final campaign.
Yeah.
Scenario.
It's actually that top one there. There we go. Bottom and front. Boom. So let's do that down there. But it's good that they're both here and they're both the same thread, because if we are going to try and get more, we could follow the same one rather than having to go back to the Theodosia or the base camp. It was the Theodosia supernatural one, wasn't it? Yeah.
I had at least 5 clues.
I don't think so. I think you had 4.
Okay, I think you'll be right. I think I might have put one back on this location, on the Coastal Waters. Yeah, that's why I'm getting confused. Cool.
Is that your turn?
Yes.
Awesome. Let's do an upbeat phase.
Okay. I have a get out of jail free card in the form of Alter Fate.
Cool. Okay, let's do the Mythos phase. 5 of 11.
Nebulous Miasma. Attached to your location. When you end your turn at attached location, each card you control with sanity, including your investigator, takes 1 direct horror, and then at the end of the round, discard the Nebulous Miasma.
Okay.
I don't feel like that's bad enough for me to want to alter fate about it, but I could.
I completely agree. I've also drawn another one, So, and they're both attached to this location, so it's not.
So I think we just don't stay here for a...
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm really happy with those two draws. We just get out of dodge. No, not you. We get out of dodge and let these two discard, and then basically that's it for the Mythos phase.
Yeah. Sounds good.
I encourage you to go first.
Okay. Let's fuck it up on purpose. Do I want to fuck it up on purpose this turn? I think there might be something better I could do with my... No, I still will fuck it up on purpose. Let's fuck things up on purpose. Okay, definitely lost. I'm not even going to do the maths. I definitely failed that. You accept me not wasting time with maths?
I'll be back in a moment. Hang on.
Cool.
You're not going out? Ah, okay. Do you have a nice time? I'll finish by 11. Okay. I'm back.
Welcome back. So I've got some... Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've got too many cards. Which isn't the end of the world.
What actions have you taken so far?
Yeah.
Oh, this is the fuck it up on purpose action.
Yeah, this was the fuck it up on purpose action, which I drew 2 cards with. I'm going to investigate at least once. I want to investigate, I want to leave, and I want to install some number of things. I don't think I can actually install as many things as I want and investigate and leave.
I don't think we need to worry too much about investigating here.
Okay.
I think
I might install.
It's the best candidate for the summon service to go and try and clear clues off after it's done in the review theatre. Which admittedly is in like 4+ turns time.
Okay, I'm going to install Mist Oil now.
Yeah.
Okay, and we shuffle these, and I got Zeal.
Yay.
Arguably one I least wanted.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Now I really am running out of slots. Fine, you can go there. You're an amulet at the moment, Zeal. I'm wearing it around my neck. And then I'm going to leave.
Yeah.
And then... oh, I need to pay for Mist Oil.
Sadly, yes. Cat tax.
Yeah.
Emergency Hedge is a pro cat tax channel, Jessica. I'll ask you to remember that next time. You've already paid the cat tax. We had a cat on screen earlier. We were obviously distracted by other things. We didn't mention it, but I enjoyed the presence of whichever cat it was.
I think it was Kitten's son, if I remember correctly.
It looked to be a completely black cat.
Then it was Raisin Cats.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to install this Derringer. Even though I've got Zeal, I think that the Derringer's just quite good. And yeah, it's the upgrade. It's the upgraded Derringer.
Would you like me to shuffle the other 2 cats into your deck?
Yes, please.
Do that. Yeah, I really wish Zeal did an extra damage. I think that would be...
Yeah. It's a bit sad that it just doesn't feel worth using. Like punching things for 1 damage at a time just isn't very good.
It's a little bit too slow, isn't it?
Yeah. But that's fine. I can investigate next turn. I will shove a keyring onto the board next turn and investigate. I've just gotten the gun out in case I need it between now and next turn.
Yeah. So my turn?
Yes, please.
Cool. I get a lone wolf credit. Hooray! I play the binder's jar. Hooray! I move into this location to join you. Oh, hang on, I have to pay for the binder's jar. Details. And sadly, I don't think I can. I'm just going to draw a card. Oh boy. Okay, that's the damage. That's to kill a Leon out of my deck. And last of all, the servitor is going to investigate the review theatre. It's a frost token. So I need to take a damage. I think I will Claypool it, but not use one of his supplies. So that's just draw another one. Okay, that's a failure, but never mind. And that's my turn.
Cool.
These 2 cards go. Yeah, an upkeep phase.
I just found out something very frustrating, Dave.
Tell me.
I'm trying to find a link to our stream to give to my girlfriend. I found it, but we're not actually. If you search emergency hedge YouTube,
yeah,
we are not the first emergency hedge YouTube on Google. Which I think frustratingly, the first one might be another channel that we set up with the same name.
No way.
That for some reason, despite the fact that this channel is the one with all the views and the videos and stuff, YouTube's like, do you want to look at this empty channel? It doesn't even have an avatar.
Is it a green background? An E on a big green background?
It is an E on a big green
Yeah,
background.
I think that was us.
Hey, I'm just going to send her this link quickly. There we go. It's sent. You've done your turn. We're both ending in the same place.
I've done my upkeep.
And I've not done mine. It's a weird feeling when you're sort of hoping for clearly cards so that you won't fill up your hand size. That is a strange sensation I just had.
Have you upkept?
I have upkept. I'm fully upkept.
The agenda goes up 6 doom of 11.
Cool.
And now it's time for some encounter cards.
Hooray! Fuck off. Fuck right off. I just got rid of you.
Oh, Dark Aurora. Okay. 3 willpower.
I have, it wasn't that hard to get rid of, to be fair. I got rid of it on the same turn that I drew it. It's just like, because of the way my turns are structured, there's a really decent chance that it will fire.
Yeah.
Or I have to miss out on like my value for the turn,
Yeah. Fantastic. I passed Dark Aurora.
Oh, I have to add a tequila card as well.
Add tequila, yeah.
Hi.
That's mine done. Would you like to go first again? And I can get some sweet lone wolf money. Assuming that we leave this location.
We only need 2 more clues. But this is a relatively hard place to investigate. I might forego my value this time because I've got most of my engine here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like I need that value. And I might instead... Is one of these keyrings better than the other? Yes. I would instead install this keyring for my first action.
What's the... Oh, the additional clue. Yeah, that does make sense.
No, you make a really good point, which is that I could just use the mineral specimen instead.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I didn't make that point, but now I am.
Whoever put you onto that idea is a genius. Okay, I will try and get my value this turn. Watch as I draw a Tequila card. This is going to be really fun. Okay, so I'll try and investigate. Okay, I'm just going to pull the token and then work out if I have to do any kind of maths at all. I think I don't have to do any maths. So that's a -3, and there's absolutely no way that I beat that test, so I'm not going to bother with the maths.
Mm-hmm.
I will draw 1 card. Okay, fine. And get 2 resources off. That's not what I meant to do, sweetie. Put it back. Off drawing them. For my second action, I'll exhaust on you to give me a +2. And then I'll spend a charge from here to investigate at a 7 versus 4, which is a really sweet spot to be in because nothing but auto fails and frost stops me. Sick.
The Elder Thing token also stops you. That's a -4.
The Elder Thing's a -4.
Yeah, I think there might be a -4 in there as well. I didn't want to say.
Oh, the Elder Thing.
Yeah, there's 2 tokens that are worth -4 in there. I didn't want to say that before you drew the token.
Okay.
I didn't want to jinx it, but that is the truth.
Okay, well, I'm doing it at a +4 again. I think that's exactly what I drew last time. So
That's a
it's only a +4 because I used this, but I think this is the right place to use these up.
Mhm.
It's the hard place.
Mhm.
And now I've got all of the clues.
Cool.
And a spare action,
which you should use to move into that location. Oh,
I should use to get rid of blasphemous visions.
okay, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Should we flip the Ottoman front?
Yeah, let's flip the Ottoman front first.
I'm going to spend 2 of my clues. And use 2 of yours. Will you read it for us?
Sure. Through the din of war, a hail of gunfire and mortars so loud it shakes the earth, Cookie reloads his rifle slowly and methodically. Sergeant Fredericks! A voice calls out to him. His companion ducks through the trench as another nearby explosion kicks up a spray of mud. Germans broke the line last night. They're all circling around. We have to get out of here. Cookie affixes a bayonet to the end of his rifle. Did the lieutenant give the order? He asks. Lieutenant Williams is dead, the soldier replies, the fear in his voice palpable. Sir, you're in charge. If James Cookie Fredericks is alive, which he is,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yep.
Spawn to set aside memory of a ravaged country enemy. Memory of a ravaged country. Not a country enemy, not like a farmer.
If a memory ravages a country, I'm only ravaging memories till the country. Sorry.
We're getting to that point in the evening.
Yeah.
Yeah, we spawn the enemy here, and then we flip the card back over.
Okay.
There was a bit more I need to read.
Sorry.
The investigators may advance the current act or continue playing.
No, that's connected to the crossed out. That's connected to the crossed out part. So we don't do anything with that.
Yeah, the formatting was a bit confusing because there was a little paragraph gap, but you are right.
I think we get identical text on the flip side of Memory of a Ravaged Country.
Yeah. So what happens next, including like what I do with my next final action, I think we have a question we should answer.
Yeah.
Which is, assuming that we kill this enemy, etc., are we going to try and go for a Hail Mary extra card, which I'm of the opinion that we probably can't, as we've taken most of the scenario to get to this point, and we're not quite halfway through. Like it's touch and go. We're slightly more than halfway through in terms of Doom, and I guess this comes back to, sorry, doing all my thinking out loud and not doing it in a joined up fashion. If we'd be starting again from scratch,
yeah,
I think that we would have a hard job getting a second memory.
Yes.
I also think that realistically, based on how we played the game so far, if we get Cookie, we've probably got the 2 upgraded characters that we are going to take into the final campaign. Obviously, there's experience to get.
Yeah.
But it is less of a positive return than it would be otherwise. So I think there's an argument for saying now, no, we're not going to. And then we can play the rest of the scenario a bit looser and a bit kind of not having to save up resources for doing another thing. We can just go all out on this monster, kill it, and leave with plenty of time. There is an argument for doing that.
Yeah.
Knowing you're about to make the opposite argument because you always like to get as much experience as possible.
I mean, I do try and min-max experience. I think you've made quite a good case, and I would like to see how quickly we kill this before we decide for certain.
Cool. My argument.
You flipped over 2 of your clues, but I think they should have been spent, right? So I think we
should have been spent.
We're currently on 2 clues. Assuming that the following Takada's memories is the same, requires the same amount of clues, we need to spend 4, right? 2 in the coastal waters and 2 in the subsequent location. So we'd need to get. Is that right? No, we need
6.
4 in each. So we need 8.
We need
6
8
clues. Hang on. I thought you had 2 clues left. Because I spent 2 and you should have spent 2.
I got to 4 and then. Oh, okay, you spent 2 as well.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Grab you back.
So we need to get 6 clues and then kill a pretty beefy enemy.
Yeah, I don't think it's impossible, and I'm not going to sit here saying it's impossible when I don't think that. I just think it's a tough sell, and if we made the other decision now, I would, for example, decide that it was fine for me to have blasphemous visions for the rest of the game and just blast my way through the Memory of a Ravaged Country starting now, and I'd start taking damage from it and stuff. Whereas if we have to hold back a bit, then the way we approach this enemy is different, was my point.
Yeah. And basically, it's about to be the end of your turn, then we'll have my turn, and then we'll be on 7. So we've got 7, 8, 9, 10. So we've got 4 rounds, 4.5 rounds. I think you're right. I don't think we can do it. I mean, we could, but I don't think we can safely do it. I think it's.
I don't think we'd safely do it.
Yeah. Let's nail this enemy and then let's get out of dodge.
Cool. I'm happy with that. In that case, I'll.
Can you evade it?
If I'd not used Anu this turn, maybe. Actually, maybe I can anyway, because my evade's pretty good, and I'd be getting quick learner cred for it as well.
Mm-hmm.
And also, like, I've got too many cards as is. One of them must say evade on them.
If
and
you
I
squint, Lucky says evade on it.
Yeah, I
as
think
does neither way nor snow.
I think I'm happy doing this at a +2 and then luckying it if I fail.
Mm-hmm.
Well. So I was at a +2, that turns into a -2, but I play lucky.
Yep. Boom, evaded.
Yeah, boom, evaded. And then are you just going to like kick it in the head while it's on the floor?
Part of my reason for asking you to do that is I still don't have a really good damage option here. So I'm going to be drawing cards in the hope of getting one.
Okay.
So we'll do one draw. Okay, that's good. That is a good damage option.
I could hypothetically finish this thing off in a single turn if I got lucky with all my pulls.
I think. Yeah, I think. How much damage can you take?
Knowing me quite a bit. 5 plus 2 on Mist Oil plus none on Zeal. Plus, if I was feeling really mean, 2 on Anu. Loads. I can take loads.
Okay. So I am going to play the spare parts for my second action. Exhaust it and add a supply to dynamite. I'm going to take a horror to go to. Oh no! Hang on.
You're too far away, right? Oh, no, it's only. This is going to be a rules question, isn't it?
Is it a connecting location?
Yeah, is it a connecting location if you're throwing it the wrong way down a kind of wormhole?
Mystical wormhole.
Yeah. Okay, I'm in two minds because, like, one part of me says no, obviously not. Another part of me says it's quite a cool image, though, isn't it? You like chucking the dynamite as you drop through the wormhole, and your postwoman friend being like, "What the fuck?" as everything blows up and kills her cat.
What was your method for dealing with this enemy? Before we take a firm decision.
My Derringer, which is not as cool as your idea.
That's true.
I would also say, I don't think your idea kills it on its own, though.
It doesn't kill it on its own. No, it will do 3 damage to it.
And to me.
And yeah, I mean details, Jessica. I
mean that saves me. I will also say that saves me probably 1 action in killing it. Probably, maybe 2.
I think what we've established is that the dumb play that I want to do is not actually a good play at all in any
and possibly
respect. In any respect other than it's hilarious and it's all dynamite is always fun. Yeah, I can dynamite us all and do a damage to Cookie. No, not to Cookie, to Claypool. I think at this stage in the campaign, I'm okay with doing a single damage to a partner.
You'd also do a single damage. Do you damage all of my allies as well?
No, you take 3 damage.
Okay, distributed
as you wish, yeah.
Yeah, which is absolutely fine.
Okay, so let's do that. Kaboom. I-
One.
Oh, Jessica, I love this play, but it's a bad one.
Okay, let's not
It's a
then.
bad one. I'm not going to do it. Sorry. I'm going to have to wreck on my turn, which is a bit annoying. Uh, it it's dumb of me to put myself 1 damage away from losing when we have
It is.
a Mythos phase to contend with. It's asking for trouble
Yeah.
in a way that we actually really don't need to, and in fact have planned our scenario around not cutting it really fine. So I think I will just draw a second card, even though that isn't the most fun thing to do. And sadly, I'll draw a third card. Okay. Cool. I'll use Dexter's ability to get rid of Blame Wolf and put Occult Scraps into play. And the Summon Servitor will investigate the Review Theatre at 3 up and succeed. Okay, that's my turn.
Cool. Is that just because the summon servitor had nothing else to do? Or do we want that to do something?
Nothing else to do. It's sitting there. It's investigating. I think that I succeeded by 2 there.
I'll believe you.
No, I didn't. It was by 1.
Okay.
Upkeep. Oh boy. Well, I'm very glad that I didn't do the dynamite play, because look what I have just drawn. I suppose I could have loaded some more damage from table, but
yeah. I mean, I had multiple ways to cancel it.
yeah, we did have options, but I think it illustrates what a dumb thing it would have been to put ourselves close to losing like that.
One of these key rings. That one can go. Okay.
Yep. So
encountered.
Yeah, 7 of 11.
I can't talk to you about this. Nightmarish Vapors. I must choose one, either lose 2 actions. Oh my fucking god. Or shuffle the top 2 cards of the Tequila deck into your deck without looking at them.
That also should have read it and engaged with one of us. I suggest it's you because you have Anu.
Yeah. It was going to be me, I think, regardless. Can I ask a mechanical question without asking?
Yeah, go on.
That card I got at the start of this scenario that lets me take Tequila cards out of my deck, will I have it next time round as well?
What card was that? I don't remember it.
I didn't get to play it this time because it got randomly discarded by a Tequila card. Okay. The Collected Works of Poe.
I believe that's added to your deck.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to take the 2 Tequilas. I think that losing effectively an entire turn, because for me, I would lose 2 actions, but that would mean that I only had the really shit action and the normal action, the shit quick learner action and the neutral one, and then not any of my good quick learner actions would be really bad. I suspect I will regret that decision. It's 2 Tequila cards. Hang on, wait a minute. That's not what I'm going to do at all.
What are you going to do?
Fucking cancel it with one of the 2 cards I have in hand that can cancel a treachery. Why would I? Shit. Okay, I need to take. I didn't even see which 2 Tequila cards I put in. I'm going to take the first 2 out that I find.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Good shout.
That one could go. That one could go. I didn't even read them.
I'll stick them on the bottom of the deck.
Thank you.
Cool. And then I draw something. I draw the Madness Within. Oh boy. So
I'll give you neither rain nor snow.
you sure?
It's that point in the game. Like we've
Okay,
just
do it. Do it. Yeah. Cool. And that's a pass.
Cool. Okay.
Do you what options do you have for damaging memories of memory of a ravaged country?
The Derringer is my main option.
Okay.
Could you do 1 damage to this turn, do you think?
Almost certainly, yes.
Okay,
I've actually thought of a way that I could dynamite it as well.
Okay, well I think we're going to kill it this turn then.
Yep.
I will punch it once in the face, like quite badly.
Okay.
Like without putting any effort into it whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll put effort into the next 3. Yeah, I failed. Like I could run the maths, but I definitely failed. So this next one,
No, that's fine. Don't worry.
Cool. So this next one I can do at a +2 with Anu, and I will.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, is it so? That just brings me to a straight +2, which is okay. I can do with a straight +2. That's a decent number. I should stop overthinking it. She said, not stopping overthinking it. Yeah, let's just do it with a +2. How irritating. However, I do get an ammo back.
I haven't totally been following what you've been playing. You've been doing. Did you succeed in the Derringer shot at all?
No.
Okay.
But I get an ammo back. And I can do it again. And this time it will be a +3.
Okay.
And let me just read all of the text on Derringer. Okay, fine. This will be a +3.
And that's a -2.
And that's -2. So we do 2 damage. And then this one's going to be a +2. Can you do 2 damage to it this turn, do you think?
I think I can do 3 damage to it this turn. I can also give you some combat pips if you like.
Yeah, a combat pip or 2 would be great.
I have to.
Great. This is a +4 then. Which we didn't need. That's perfect. Great.
Okay, on my turn, I will use Dexter's ability to get rid of the occult scraps and put the spare parts into play. And I need to do that. Right? Well, I need to get rid of the occult scraps, so that's fine. I will take Horror and move to the Prison of Memories. And then I will move to the deck of the Theodosia. and then to coastal waters, and then I will lob a stick of dynamite into the your location.
Cool.
Doing 3 damage to the memory and 3 damage to you.
Which I'll just be my pets and myself.
But that means that this gets killed, and we flip it over.
So tempting to just do it again to irritate you, but I won't. As the mirage dissolves, you watch a young Sergeant James Fredericks command his men to flee, a hail of bullets and mortar fire following in their wake. Kid never did make it back, the real Cookie says, grinding his teeth. Very few of us did that day. And for what? He spits. The roar of gunfire fades in the distance. For what? In your campaign log, record Cookie has confronted his demons. And draw a check mark next to his name in the expedition team section. From now on, whenever James Cookie Fredericks is included or used during a scenario, use the set-aside Resolute version instead of the version from the expedition team encounter set. If he is currently in play, switch him with that version now. Add this card to the victory display. The investigators may advance the current act or keep playing. So that's really interesting. This presumably does get added as well.
What gets added as well? No.
The Ottoman front has victory toe on it. Okay.
No, it doesn't.
So
it stays unflipped. So
okay, so it's a balancing mechanic. You either get the good effect of having a better team member, or you get an extra 3 point.
Correct. So that's the normal Cookie, and this is the Resolute Cookie. And I think that he's got more health, and it's a base skill of 6 rather than 5.
Cool. Him having more health does seem relevant at this point because, as you were saying before, like we might as well start giving damage to these people.
I think so. Yeah.
Certainly, once we get into the next and final scenario, right?
I believe so. Yes, I think we have done. Let's have a look over. Yeah. There's the Heart of Madness, and there's part 1 and part 2. So I think we will need to do both those 2 parts, but that is the next and final scenario.
Cool. I think I'm tempted to play the devil on your shoulder and talk about a couple of mechanical reasons why it might be possible for us to get one more card, though I think not one more upgraded. We don't really care about having one more upgraded person. But based on how this card worked, if we went and uncovered the memory of someone dead, we wouldn't have to fight another big enemy. We just have to uncover the memory. That said, I think the clue requirement's probably prohibitive for us to do it in 4 turns. Right?
Yeah, so if we're doing that, I think we'd go to the Theodosia. We'd need to spend 2 to get the Hedge Maze, and that would bring the equivalent. That would be presumably like Coastal Waters need 4 to flip, and then it would bring another location that would need 4 to flip. So we'd actually need to get 10 clues. It is we're deciding whether to advance or not now. I would stand a good chance of getting 1 at the end of this turn with the Riverview Theatre. But then,
then we still need to get 8. And I guess like the thing is, we only, quote unquote, need to get 8 in 4 turns, which doesn't. It's tricky, isn't it? Not impossible, but tricky.
Yeah. I mean, I've got in hand probably 6 in 3 actions. Not definitely, but probably.
That makes it sound quite doable. Because once I get to Coastal Waters, admittedly, it's a long round trip to Coastal Waters, but once I get there, I'm very confident of getting 2. Oh no, I don't need, if you're getting all 6 off Coastal Waters, then I wouldn't be able to get 2 from there.
You'd need to move on to the hedge maze and start getting clues there, I think.
Yeah. Well, we have 3 already, right?
Yes.
So does that mean we only need another 5?
I think we said 10, didn't we?
Another 7. Yeah, you're right.
But I'll probably get 1 at the end of this turn, and then it's 6 that we need to get. An added complication is that I think I probably need to call time on this stream, whether we continue or not.
I think we should advance the agenda. I think we should stick to our original plan.
You know what I think, but I think in the interest of having a tidy stream and going home safe, let's do that.
Yeah, I think I'd like to progress the campaign as well. I think that's part of my reasoning.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okie dokie. So we've got 1 victory. I think let's flip this over and see what it says.
As you confront yet another memory locked inside this strange hallucination, you spot another door. Not a wooden one, or indeed any door made by human hands, but rather a colossal circular gate of rock with an elaborately carved slab of slate-grey stone blocking your way. Enigmatic glyphs wind around its frame, their meaning inscrutable. You step forward, place your hand upon the stone, and to your surprise, the door cracks open with an immense rumble. A layer of thick, primatic miasma drips from the doorway as you peer inside. Thum-thum, thum-thum, thum-thum. The beating is tremendous. Something quivers and throbs on the other side. Something hideous and enormous, like a beating heart. Thum-thum, thum-thum, thum-thum. The heart of the mountain, the heart of the mirage. Then the door slams open. Tendrils of ichor slap around your wrists. You're dragged, screaming, through the door. Okay, to resolution 1. You tumble through the doorway and onto your sleeping mat, flailing within your tangle of warm blankets. No door shuts behind you. Did you only imagine all of that? Or was it all real? Is there a difference? In the Fatal Mirage section of the campaign log, under Memories Banished, record each story card. In the victory display, each investigator earns experience equal to the victory.
That's
in
it.
the Fatal Mirage section, the Fatal Mirage section of the campaign log, under Memories Discovered, record each other non-otherworld location in play. If there are any other story cards in the victory display worth victory X, each investigator earns experience equal to that amount. And none of the rest of this is surprising, I don't think.
Yep. We go on to the Heart of Madness, basically. It's
cool.
The summary. So, that's 1 XP each, and we'll do the Heart of Madness next time we stream.
Yeah, and we upgraded Cookie, which I think is good.
Yeah,
I think we've got our dream team upgraded for the final scenario, which I think is ideal.
That'll be cool. Yep, looking forward to it. Okay, should we call it a night, Jessica?
Yes, please.
Thank you, everyone, for watching. We will see you in a little while, maybe a couple of weeks, I think. I'm away, not near computers for the next few days at least. But anyway, we will set a time and then we will stream when it happens.
Cool. Goodbye, everybody.
Cool. Night. See you later. Bye-bye. Oh, damn. I've done that thing again where I'm not actually ready to stop the stream. Here we go.